Ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered here today to pay our final respects to Best Death Scenes. Best Death Scenes was the next episode in our planned schedule, and unfortunately that is no longer the case. Because we had a guest on that episode, and the guest's audio was fucked. Therefore, the three-way conversation was fucked, which meant the episode was fucked, which meant my head was fucked. I've cobbled together what's left of the recording, which is myself and Will's audio track. It's an unedited smorgasbord of what we talked about. I've chopped up the recording into segments where myself and Will are talking mostly, and I've left out where we've talked about our final scene picks, because death scenes is such a great topic. I hope that we get a chance to do it again. It's one of the top 5 great scene suggestions, so it was a shame for this to happen. But we have a really good alternate episode planned, which is Best Guilty Pleasures. That was suggested by Lara, one of our fantastic patrons and one of the brilliant people of our Discord community. That should be a fun one to do, and it should hopefully get us talking about films that we haven't spoken about before. So yeah, this is just pouring one out for death scenes. We'll try and do it again in the future. For now, what you're about to hear is just a chopped up version of the episode. It's unedited, so if you ever wanted to know what an episode sounds like without all the bells and whistles, it's going to sound a little bit like this. I've used some underscore underneath it to make it sound like a funeral. Anyway, here's what's left of Best Death Scenes. Love ye. Will.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about your own death?
You mean in the last 5 minutes?
Yes. Because I have.
Okay, tell me about yours. So this was a rhetorical question. Go on.
No, I thought about your death.
Oh, right. Was it a peaceful one?
I can't tell you that because, then you'd be prepared for it. It'll be quick. That's all I'll say.
That's all I can ask for.
It's actually going to happen over the course of this episode, where we're dying on mic.
Oh, you got there ahead of me.
The best bits.
I'll use small words.
You get a little choked up.
I can tell you one that might not be on many people's radar. It's a film that came out in 1993, and it stars Michael Keaton and Nicole Kidman, and it's called My Life.
I don't know it.
Yeah, it's a deep cut. It's a very, very specific deep cut for me, because I watched it when it came out on video, right? When I was a young teenager, I was a tough teenager. Hadn't shed a tear since I stubbed my toe, getting out of my crib sort of stuff. And I remember through this film on, at the end of it, I remember just being a mess. Like cathartic crying, just floods of tears. And it was like, oh my God.
Makeup streaming down your mascara running.
Yeah, it was full mascara. But it's a film which I think probably on, if you were to watch it now, it might come across as a bit mawkish. But it is a film in which Michael Keaton is a successful, guy. He's got a beautiful wife who's pregnant. She has got a great career. Life is wonderful. But it turns out he has been diagnosed with terminal cancer. So he's given 4 months to live. And so the whole film is about him preparing for his death. And he starts to make video diaries for his child, his unborn child, about how to fucking live his life and all that sort of stuff. And oh my God, when we eventually, and it's a whole process of him fucking coming to terms with the fact that he's going to die and basically having issues that he hasn't dealt with around his own family and his own dad and all that sort of stuff. And my God, when we get to the final scenes, I remember being in floods. It affected me so much that I only watched the film once. And then about 15 years later, it popped up somewhere. I found a DVD of it. And I said to Karen, my wife, says, oh my God, this bloody film. Haven't heard of it or seen it since I saw it years ago. I put it on, and the opening credits are just like white text over a black background, but the score played. And by the end of the opening credits, I was in floods of tears. It triggered something in me again, and I was destroyed by it. So that would be my one that kind of slots into that kind of almost mawkish
tearjerker death scenes.
Yeah, total tearjerker. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've never seen The Land Before Time.
Oh,
so
wow.
It didn't affect me. I was just sitting there watching it going like, oh God, it's 2D animation. I can't be arsed with this.
Trivia questions, right? Trivia questions. How many sequels, spin-offs has The Land Before Time spawned?
Is this part of like dying on mic type?
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah. Kevin, what's your guess?
80.
You know, it's somewhere in the middle. It's 13. 13 sequels, spin-offs. That's a franchise.
Brilliant. And I've not seen any of them. The horse's death in Neverending Story.
That's on my list. Oh, is it? Tax. Fuck yeah. It's on all our lists. Oh my God.
But where is it on your list? Is it like way up there?
It's at the moment well, you see, I'm kind of like, my list is all over the shop. I just kind of know what's at the top. So it's in the top 5, I would put it that way.
Because he's dying of depression. The horse is just giving up the will to live. And he's pleading with him.
The way the horse has just been lured. And I love the kind of the phases that a trio goes through of like, oh, come on, to, no, don't give up, to, come on, you stupid fucking. And I always hated, but it hurt me so much when he started swearing at the horse. Like, he gets angry at the horse. And that was the moment where I think I got most upset, you know, because it got really fucking real. So disturbing. And I rewatched it today and I still got chills.
It used to be my banner on Twitter for the longest time, and people would see it and be like, oh my God, your banner is horrible, because it'd be the horse drowning in the bog of despair.
Why? Can I ask you, why was it your banner?
Because I was so frustrated about what was going on with my career. And I put it on there as sort of like, something ironic. And then I can't remember what happened. I think I got some job and I changed it to what was the kid's name? He's riding Falco at the end and he's like got his hand.
Oh, right.
Sebastian.
Right.
This is not going in the episode either. Fuck it. See, I think this is an important thing that's part of death scenes, is that you need to either relate to or like the characters. Mm-hmm. It can't just be a throwaway death. Even in something inconsequential like Marge getting swallowed in Jaws 2, it was that she died heroically. That's probably why I remember it. Not so much that it was like a spectacular scene of an animatronic shark swallowing her, but it was that she died trying to save a kid. He's done some great death scenes, Spielberg.
I watched one recently, actually, actually last weekend, which kind of caught me off guard. It was in the middle of the day, and it was Empire of the Sun. And it was the death scene where basically, you know, the kid has been in this concentration camp for quite a while, and the war is over, the bomb drops, but he's basically his surrogate mother in the camp. You know, everyone's been carted out of the tents and stuff like that, and they've been released from the wire enclosures of the concentration camp, and she's just lying there on the ground, dead, just with her eyes open, and it's completely unceremonious, and it's incredibly, as you say, it's incredibly raw, and it's not underscored, it's not sentimentalized in any way, shape, or form. It's just fucking brutal, and I remember being really struck by that. Just this beautiful woman just lying there dead, and after the bomb drops, and it's just, oh well, it was really great.
Reminds me of Kerry Russell's death in Mission Impossible, when the brain bomb goes off and her eyes are like two different directions. Shocking.
God. Yeah, I completely forgot about that until you just said it right there, and I went, oh, I know what you mean. Oh my God. The
code in Schindler's List, you don't even see that death, but you just feel it intensely, just seeing that little red coat just piled in there with all the others. Can I mention one other great Vin Diesel death though? Just to say it.
Oh, so I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going, and I'm not going to interrupt. I just know it. I feel glad. I'm not going, I know it. Go on.
You know, I don't really like 2D animation. It's I don't consider it a real art form.
Yeah.
But the Iron Giant's death, Vin Diesel going,
it's brilliant.
Superman. And he sacrifices himself, it always elicits a tear.
You mentioned earlier on about the one where we don't actually witness the death, you know, in the film, and we're wondering if we're going to say the same thing. The one I was thinking of, which really fucking got to me, was Jim Sheridan's film In the Name of the Father. And it's Jerry Conlon's dad's death in that, Giuseppe Conlon, where poor old Jerry and Giuseppe and the rest had been wrongly imprisoned. Jerry has gone down a bad path of drug taking and a solipsistic behaviour, and Giuseppe is staying on the righteous path, and they are stuck in the same cell, but they've fallen out with each other. And then one night below him, Giuseppe begins to struggle to breathe, and panic fills poor old Jerry, and he's screaming out the doors, like looking for help. And we see Giuseppe being unceremoniously carted down the steps in the prison cell, and there's great agony of please help him. The man is suffocating. He is suffocating. He is dying. And the inhumanity of Jerry not being able to be beside his father, and the scene, which is like, I think is so fucking powerful, as we got Jerry just sitting in his cell alone, his face stoic, and a priest comes in to tell him, like, your poor Giuseppe passed away, and he stays completely stoic, and the word spreads around the prison, and one of his buddies lights a piece of paper, and he drops the burning piece of paper out the cell window, and we have that amazing shot of all the burning pieces of paper, newspaper, like falling, descending, cascading down the side of the cell, and we have Sinead O'Connor's haunting score in the background as well, or her haunting voice in the background as well. It's incredibly powerful. It's incredibly moving. I shed a tear every time I see it. I shed a tear, and I'm glad he gets out in the end.
So he's been around some good ones.
I've got a shocking one for you, but it's also shocking, but it's also kind of funny, because I remember at the cinema going, oh, and kind of everyone kind of tittering at the same time. Out of Sight. It's the moment where
Out of Sight.
White boy Bob shoots himself in the head while he's running up the stairs.
Oh, he's going up the stairs. Yeah, he slips and he blows his head off.
He's got George Clooney at gunpoint, and he's shouting to his cohorts, you know, who are rummaging through the house, and he's got his gun trained at Clooney's head, and he jogs up the stairs, he slips and falls, the gun hits him right underneath the chin, and he pulls the trigger, and that's it. And I remember everyone it's an equal shock, funny death. I think it's brilliant.
It has a bang of bang, boom, boom. It has a bang of Pulp Fiction when he blows your man's head off in the back seat.
Kinda, yeah.
When he's like lecturing him and just bang. Yeah, I like those ones. I've got another one for you that's really shocking, and this is a Zapruder film.
Oh, you fucking JFK? You sick bastard. You don't see it coming, to be fair. One of the funniest death scenes that I've seen is from Zoolander. And it's the petrol fight, or the gas station fight, where we have the supermodels, you know, the male models just throwing gas. They're filling up their Jeep, and they start doing a gasoline fight. And this goes...
I've never actually seen Zoolander.
Oh, shit. It is so fucking funny. You have these dumb male models who pull into a petrol station, and they're filling up their Jeep. They're all beautiful, and one of them just accidentally sprays some gas on one of the other guys, and they all go, "Oh, isn't this so much fun?" And they start throwing gas, and they do a gasoline fight, and the whole thing goes up, kaboom! It's fucking genius. It's brilliant.
That makes me want to see that. That makes me want to see it more than any of the trailers or any of the clips that I've seen.
It's great. It is very good.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones where I don't know. I kind of got the joke with the blue steel thing, and I was like, okay. You know, himbo models.
Judging a book by its cover. That's all I'm saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Give it a go.
But how else do you judge?
Actually, by consuming the entire thing and reserving your judgment until you have seen it in completion.
So you watch absolutely everything. You don't discern at all.
I definitely.
The people involved, the poster, none of it. You just go like, I watch it on. I don't care what it is.
But I'm sure plenty of people have said it's actually quite good over the years. It's been over 20 years.
Not really.
Not many people have said Zoolander's good.
Not to me specifically, where they said like, you've got to watch Zoolander.
Well, now it's done. You've got to watch Zoolander, Kevin.
Okay, I'll give it a go. I've got a funny one for you.
Okay.
The deaths in The Other Guys with The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson when they jump off the roof. There goes my hero. That made me laugh.
That is quite good. I like it.
Thank you.
I like that one. That's very good.
Rest in peace, death scenes. 2023 to 2023. We hardly knew ye.